We're live.
Wahoo. What's up, chat? You having a good Saturday? You enjoying life? You ready to watch some definitely meaningful hockey, totally for real? Definitely doesn't not matter at all? Are there any other interesting games that play out later? I mean, I'm going to be watching Landy anyway, so I don't even know that I'm going to watch them, but I guess the Minnesota game is slightly meaningful to eliminate Calgary, but that's about it. It's not a whole lot else interesting going on. Oh, I just want to see something cool for all these dudes that don't play very much. That's what I want. True, I haven't watched the Masters at all today. I saw Rose was leading it yesterday, but no, now Rory's leading. I mean, it's early in the day yet, I guess, but golf might be as interesting as this hockey game. I know a lot of people think golf is boring, but you know, you've watched Avs hockey lately. You know what's up. Yeah, if you haven't watched our video on Landy, go check that out. It's far more interesting than what this hockey game is shaping up to be. Lots of good stuff, to be honest. Landy's press conference from after the game was super cool, too. Pretty honest about stuff there. Can also go watch our debate on if Nathan MacKinnon is better than Joe Sakic yet, which is like closer than I think people think it is. Thank you for the super chat, James. Great Saturday. Leafs versus Habs should be good. Yeah, I guess the Leafs are still playing for that one seed. That's fair enough. Habs, I mean, we all know they're going to make it, right? But they're technically not clinched, so. There you go. Tiff on top of it with even more stuff. You can get the comeback shirt. Honestly, I love that design. There's captaincy on it. Kind of low-key sick. I have no idea if the Eagles game it will be free again. I'm assuming it won't be, but it might be. Yeah, I mean, MacKinnon clearly made a decision that he didn't care about the Art Ross or the Hart Trophy. He'd rather win a cup and be 100% going into the playoffs. So, tip of the cap to him for making a decision that some players definitely wouldn't have made. That's the LA Fire Department game. And we are off and running. I feel like this is a tough team to play a lot of your depth and like AHL guys against, just because they're pretty greasy, pretty grindy. They're not going to give up a ton of chances, so it's going to be hard missing a lot of your offensive firepower against a team like this. And I mean, of course, the Avs' effort levels of late are what you would expect from a team locked into the 3 seed, so there's that too. But just on top of that, for guys getting into some of their first NHL games and the like, LA probably not a team you love to play against. I'm an okay golfer. I'm not a good golfer. Like I basically played maybe twice last year, so the rust makes it tough. When I played a lot, I could keep it in the 80s, but when I don't play very much, it gets bad. These points do matter to LA. They're in position that they should absolutely finish in the 2 seed, but a win tonight for them would pretty much secure that and guarantee them home ice against Edmonton. So I do expect them to put in a quality effort, unlike the Avs tonight. The thing is, like, the Avs season ends tomorrow. Most of these teams play until like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week. So a lot of these teams aren't near as close to the end of their season as the Avs are. I don't believe in them, to be honest with you. That's a when you lose to the same team 3 times in a row, and it's like getting progressively worse. It's going from what used to be a tight series to Edmonton has bodied them last time. I'll believe it when they beat them. It's interesting because depending on how the Avs Dallas series goes, the Avs could be in the same boat. The Avs have lost to that Dallas team twice. And I think there are extenuating circumstances for the Avs that aren't really there in the LA Edmonton series to the same degree. But if you lose to a team 3 times in a row in the playoffs, they've got your number, right? You got to prove you can beat them at that point. Yeah, I don't know, man. Golf is so expensive. I'm a proper adult now and have like bills and mortgages and stuff. Paying for golf is just too much. Yikes. Hope you're doing okay, Andrew. So far, both teams content to play dump and chase in the first 5 minutes, which makes total sense for the Avs. That's going to be their game plan for most of the night. This is your one line here that you maybe want to see a little more skill out of with Natchez out there, but it's going to be a lot of greasy hockey as the Avs immediately fall apart and give up a goal. Yeah, I cool. Not worried about it at all, but hopefully they can at least keep it a close game. Yeah, not sure where Natchez was going on that play. He's just not covering anything, floating off into the corner. That's his guy, 100%.
Wags has some serious crazy eyes.
They're not that crazy, but yeah, he's got a little crazy. He's no Steve Downey, though. Too many men is the call they wanted there. It's close. I would rule that a change, but I don't mind it from Bednar throwing the challenge out there in a game like this. Who cares? Pop off. mean, three dudes do jump on. Like, again, you have two changers late, and sometimes they'll let you get away with that. Sometimes they won't. It's iffy. Oh, are they challenging for offside? Okay, that makes more sense. It's what I get for watching the game on mute. If it's offside, it's offside. If it's not, it's not. Those challenges are very rarely interesting. He's either off or he's not. Unless you're Gabe Landeskog and they can't actually tell if you're offside or not. But, you know. Yeah, in a game like this, you might as well pop off with the challenge, right? Who cares? Yeah, is that control? Hard to say. But as we know, NHL possession rules make no sense. So, whatever. Throw the dice out there, see what happens. Bet doesn't show anything. Looked reasonably controlled to me, but good goal. Okay. Honestly, I think you'd have had a better chance at challenging for too many men than that offside. But all good. Not that you can challenge for too many men. I know, but I will say if you're looking for one part of the game that you might actually care about, the PK is probably it, right? You have essentially your entire PK units here. You're missing one defenseman, I guess. Because EJ and Gerard would be penalty killers if EJ's in the lineup anyway. Um, yeah. And then you have the forwards, your depth forwards like Kivy and Drury and Kelly, even Nichushkin. So there's some value in the penalty kill if you're looking at something to care about in this game for the Avs. So far, this Kings power play is bad. Yeah, AJ will be here for playoff pods and stuff. Couldn't quite track that down, Logan. And then you pick a pocket at the end. Makes it work. Just score a crazy cool goal or something. That'd be fun. Oh, no. He did not trip him. He just fell over. Come on. Yeah, if it wasn't for the revenue side of it, the Avs would probably willingly forfeit games. Yeah, just unfortunate. Dude just kind of catches the blade of Val's stick. I don't know what it is a trip, but I don't know what Val is supposed to do differently there. Like, all right, win this face off or you're in big trouble. You did not win it. Technically survived the 5-on-3. I will say, if they do kill this, low-key big brain move by Jared Bednar. For the penalty for the failed challenge, initially he was putting Natchez in the box, but at the last second swapped it to VC. Not that VC's some excellent penalty killer or anything, but he's a better penalty killer than Natchez is. Did Bedsy have the script? Did he know they were going to go 5-on-3 for 10 seconds there? You know it's an LA hockey game because we're 7 minutes in and shots are 1-1, by the way. The Avs get out of the first round of the AHL playoffs easy with this lineup because this is a half an AHL team. Parker Kelly just got absolutely cooked. Yeah, I'm sure Bednar doesn't love it, but I think he also understands the score. Like Kelly right there, if that's a playoff game, Kelly runs that dude over. He uses the body. He just crashes into him. Instead, the Avs are trying to stay healthy. They don't want to do anything dumb, so he gives them the flyby with the stick out and gets cooked. Like, I mean, I don't know what Blackwood's supposed to do about either of those goals. Your defense just doesn't cover guys in the slot for both of them. Like, it is what it is. I just don't think that, like, this game matters to Blackwood's confidence at all. Like, the Avs know what the score is. I'm sure they had a conversation with Blackwood to be like, look, this game doesn't matter. We're icing a bunch of randos in front of you and nobody's trying. So, like, just get through this game and don't think about it. And you can't do that. You have to have had some type of injury to get an AHL conditioning stint, which the Avs wouldn't do anyway. But I know it's just memeing. I mean, the Avs will have a minimum 5 days off after their last game. Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, this team in front of him isn't helping Blackwood at all, but not only does he know the situation, he's also an NHL goaltender. And I'm sorry if you can't shake off a tough game, then you're not meant to be an NHL goaltender. I have, yeah, no cares about the actual final result of this game. If nobody gets hurt, W. Okay. We made a tweet, chat. We're doing our jobs. We're engaged, at least as engaged as the Avalanche are. All right. Mission accomplished. Ooh. I mean, I don't pretend to know anything about the Nuggets firing drama, and I'm going to keep it that way. I have a hard enough time dealing with all the Avs fans that hate the Avs front office. That can be the Nuggets' problem.
Literally, I had two different basketball friends ask me my thoughts. I'm like, I don't have thoughts. Like, you would know more than I would. Like, I don't know anything about this. Then I just send them the podcast link.
There you go. All right. Weird power play unit engage. Oof, Val got a high stick. 5-on-3, baby. All right. You score here, you're playing hockey. We got some stuff going on. Yep, you just whacked them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I have any thought. Like the second goal against is literally like the Chell glitch goal. A guy uncovered cutting across the high slot. It's like the hardest save to make as a goalie, other than like a backdoor play or something. Hey, I gotta make a cool tweet.
cool.
Oh man, my letter writing's getting too long. How do I fit this into a tweet? All right, good enough. No chance. There is no chance that you're keeping Nathan McKinnon nor Cale Makar off the power play. Even if their power play goes 100%, which it already hasn't, but even if it did, pretty good. Pretty good, chat. You've got some good Madeline letters in there. I like them. Yeah. Mix it up, Amot. Tell these NHLers they ain't shit. I mean, it could be worse. Just have to have Blackwood stand on his head for the rest of the game, and you'll be fine. Okay, it's like if you put your cooking pots and pans in your dishwasher, that's like crazy. Don't do that. Oof. Whew, that is a lot of playoff games for Charlie Coyle. Not a super ton of success in those either, I don't think. He has one conference final for sure. I don't know how many more than that. I guess he had a second one. In Boston. And that's it. Which was a cup final as well, obviously, but oh yeah. I'm not blaming Coyle. It's always interesting when you see a guy that has well over 100 playoff games but has only really made one cup final. Probably played on some pretty mediocre teams like a Minnesota that regularly makes the playoffs but does nothing with it. Yeah, I mean, this game is pretty brutal. Kings playing not a 1-3-1, but essentially just sludging up the neutral zone. At 5-on-5, the Avs are doing nothing offensively, which is partially the Kings' defense and partially the Avs are icing a bunch of guys. And then one of the Kings' goals comes on a power play, and the Avs' goal comes on a power play. You have one good play at 5-on-5 from either team, really, and that one was a millimeter from being offside. So it's that type of a hockey game. Yeah, don't put your cutting knives in the dishwasher either. Agreed. Excuse me. Ooh. I will say, for a dude that's EJ's size and has had the number of like surgeries and problems with his knees and legs, he still moves pretty well, considering all of that. You can do it. You got it out for 2 whole seconds. Oh, God, don't run into our goalie, please. I mean, come on, man. EJ engages with him, but Kopitar doesn't even try to stop there. It's bad for the material. I'm sure it depends on the pan, like what kind of. If you have like Teflon or whatever, I have no idea. That might be fine, but depending on what type of pan you have, putting it in the dishwasher will mess up the materials. Or yeah, if it's a cast iron or something, you're not even supposed to wash them, so don't do that. Excuse me. All right, chat. How many playoff home games do we think the Avs play? Because obviously the minimum is 2, but the minimum for 4 rounds is 8. And they're definitely not going to have home ice in the first round, so they could only play 3. But in later rounds, depending on how things go, they could have home ice. Could be any number from like 2 to like 15 would be the absolute maximum. So they didn't call that goalie interference, and they're calling a hook on the Avs here, huh? Okay. Whatever you say, refs. Whatever you say, bud. Oh, are they calling it on LA? I mean, that's also dumb. I didn't see a penalty either way, for the record, on that play. We're just making up calls because you felt bad that you didn't call the goalie interference. Yeah, I don't know how you can call that a hook. That's crazy. I mean, I think this era of the Avs is sure definitely skewed by the absurdly good cup run they had, but also this era of the Avs has never won a game 7. Not at home, not on the road. They haven't won a game 7 in over 15 years. It's more than that, actually, but I'd have to go look the exact number. They've lost a bunch of game 7s. You wouldn't have to have that many upsets, right? Like, if the Avs beat Dallas in round 1, they have home ice if Winnipeg loses to whoever, which I really don't think Winnipeg loses to Minnesota, but if St. Louis stays hot, maybe. Wow, that was a weird ass bounce. Coyle's got to shoot that, man. Looking for Nuke there just doesn't make any sense. Somebody shoot the puck to score a goal. You passed yourself into a hole. Also, their second power play unit has a guy with 9 NHL games on it, so, I guess I shouldn't expect that much. Yeah, I don't know. I've been very lucky to have been alive for all 3 Avalanche Stanley Cups, and it's super cool that the Avs have never lost a finals. They are the only team in the NHL to have been to a finals and have never lost one. You can watch it on Altitude locally or ESPN Plus if you're not local. And whatever channel LA has it on, I don't know. I think this Tampa team is overrated. I really do. Like, I think Kucherov is obviously amazing, even if I hate him. But I don't think they have the firepower that they used to, and I don't think Vasilevsky isn't quite as good as he used to be anymore. Like, a little bit of the truly unkillable super mega Vasilevsky, he's just not that dude anymore. Not that I think Tampa's bad, for the record. I think they're a good team, but if Florida is reasonably healthy, I think they win that series over Tampa. Anyway, that was certainly a period of hockey. It did get better as the period went on. The Avs at least started to have a little bit of engagement. They kept it close. They're going to need a better defensive effort at 5-on-5 than what they got early in the game to keep it that way. But who knows? Maybe the rookies will show up, do something fun. Going to take our intermission break. We'll be back in a little bit.
be back.
I mean, we can at least agree on the one thing that goaltending doesn't make any sense, right? Like, we're less than a year removed from that round one series against Winnipeg, where Georgiev played one of the worst playoff games in history by an NHL goaltender, and then played reasonably well for the rest of the series. So, I don't know. I don't know how anyone tries to predict goaltending things. It's a dumb position in a dumb sport. Everything is dumb. It's the Big Cock Brock with the intermission interview. Not that anyone is surprised by this, but the Landeskog return is the most viewed AHL game ever. All right, Chet. If you had to drink one beverage for the rest of your life that isn't water, what would it be? I feel like there's not very many good answers. Like
No,
tea or something.
most of them become punishment after a while.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, aren't the Tigers supposed to be like decent this year? It's the Rockies and the White Sox that are the worst teams in the league, right? Oh, the Braves are really bad too, apparently. All right. I feel like all of those are horrible choices. Pineapple juice would be brutal. Any alcohol would be hard if that was the only thing you could drink. Dr. Pepper might be doable, but I feel like soda would be tough too. Gatorade, even like Gatorade is super. I mean, I guess there's like no good answer. I set you guys up with a question with no good answers, so this is my fault.
I'm gonna go horchata, final answer.
Oh, I could not do that.
Just kidding. That would suck after like the fourth one.
Yeah. It'd have to be something like super light.
I think your tea answer was getting there. I think like iced tea, Arnold Palmer, something along those lines. I think I could do.
I think that's the right answer. I hate tea though, so whew. Hey, look at it this way. Dick Monfort alluded to the idea that he would maybe consider about thinking about selling the team. So maybe someday the Rockies won't suck. Yeah, my wife was having some problems with some tea that had like licorice root in it or something. Forget the exact details, but all right. Let's have another period of hockey, please. Hopefully, there's more shots and more goals for the Avs. Um, I don't know. I assume the Cronkies would probably try and buy the Rockies if they were up for sale. I know they tried to buy the Broncos multiple times when Bolin was still alive. But then they bought the Rams and moved them to LA instead.
So are we not worried that if the Rockies got a new owner, they wouldn't immediately just leave? And then we'd have no baseball team?
I mean, I don't think that would happen. But it could. Of course, you could also put a stipulation in the sale that it like requires the team to stay here for however long or whatevs. But
Okay, that makes sense.
which actually, who owns Coors Field? Do the Monforts own Coors Field, or is it like owned by the city? I don't actually know. Let's see. Who owns Coors Field? That is not helpful. Sammy, just a casual fall over and get back up. No big deal. Denver Metropolitan Major League Baseball Stadium District is a corporate body and political subdivision of the state of Colorado. So I guess the state owns it. Val! Let's go! We got a hockey game, chat. Excitement! Yeah. Yeah, if you're talking about the Broncos, I mean, that ownership group is weird, right? It's like partly Walmart, but then there's like a bunch of other investors in the group too. Like Lewis Hamilton owns part of the Broncos. I feel like that train whistle is too small for Val. It's got to be a bigger whistle.
You're probably right.
heck is going on? All right, well, shots may end 15-15 in this game, but you know what? It's far more interesting than that Vancouver game. The Vegas game was actually reasonably interesting. The first period sucked, but the rest of that game was good. Feels a bit weird. Good save, Blackwood. I can't really tell if the Avs' pace in their own zone is definitely slow, but I don't know if that's a guys going through the motions thing or if it's we have a couple of rookie D-men and it's a mess because of that. It's hard for me to tell. Yep. Streaming record for an AHL game for Landy's return. Pretty crazy. I mean, I think they recognized the moment, right? That this was a great opportunity to get people's eyes on an AHL game. Logan just screamed in and picked off the pass from Middleton to flip a backhand and missed the net. That was pretty funny. That was Middleton's chance. Could have been his first NHL goal, and Logan was like, no. Maybe one pass too many, Coyle. I know you didn't have a great angle either, but I think you try and shoot it there. I mean, that's just who LA is, right? They don't score a lot of goals as a team. Like, is there a playoff team that scores less goals than them per game? New Jersey, I guess, and Ottawa. And that's it. Minnesota, too. So they're one of the bottom 25% of playoff teams when it comes to scoring goals. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to make the one free tonight, and I don't think it would matter. I mean, it matters, but they won't do nearly the same numbers tonight. Like, I'll be watching it, but for most people, it's watching that first game back for Landy, and then people aren't going to care as much. Of course, his first game back with the Avs, people will care a lot, but that's a different story. Okay. You're going to need 5 to 6 more great saves from Blackwood, probably, as the Avs take a delay of game penalty. The Avs do look reasonably engaged, but just given their lineup, dude, what in the world? He's going crazy. Yeah, I mean, I watch AHL games all the time too, obviously. It's part of what I do. But for the average hockey fan, I don't think they watch a lot of AHL. P.S. Ivan's good. Arguably the Avs' best forward prospect that's in the system, actually. Yes, he's better than Taylor McCarr. Oh, yeah. The AHL broadcasts have audio insanity all the time. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah, I get it. Like I do. Whoa, we almost missed a dangerous chance there, altitude. Um, oh, it's a replay. Okay, I'm dumb. Both of them just weren't producing. And in Ivan's case, like it had been a good stretch of games where not only was he not producing points anymore, he wasn't even looking very dangerous offensively. So I understand that. Ultimately, Pristupov has no NHL points still, so I get it. But also, he looked dangerous in his time. I do wish they gave Pristupov a handful more games just to see. And of the prospects, he's one of the ones that was producing decently in the AHL. Not like great or anything, but decently. And then the guy I think that everyone is overrating is Steinberg, but that's okay. He knows what he is and he brings that physical element to his game, so it does matter. Whoa, great save. There's one. There's one of the 5 or 6 I said he's going to need. Also, yeah, as defensive zone remains, yikes. Yeah, Amott got cooked there. Blackwood bailed him out. Yeah, I'd like the Avs clearly see something in Inola that I just don't. Like, it is what it is. Oh, Kivy. Saving him for the playoffs, right, Kivy? When it actually matters. All right. One big save and you kill the penalty. It's good stuff. LA has turned up the wick a bit here, though. The Avs have been spending. I know it was a power play, but the Avs are struggling to even get possession here at 5-on-5. Honestly, I think the Avs have felt the same way in a lot of games recently, too, Rugby. If they get to the halfway mark and it's close, they're like, I guess we might as well try and win. Blackwood squeezed that one. I mean, I do think a little bit people have the rose-colored glasses on for EJ. Not that he's been bad, but his underlying numbers are not the best. But if he's going to keep riding a 98% save percentage while he's on the ice, then sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Yeah, EJ did not play a ton for Philly, so he should be relatively rested long term. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to get like a depth goal winner too, right? Your goals are a Nelson power play goal and then a Chushkin 5-on-5 goal. So, like, the dudes that are the top of your lineup tonight have played pretty well. But if you get a step up depth goal, that would feel pretty good. Have some confidence in those guys going into the playoffs. what the hell happened in the Carolina-New York game? A line brawl? Unfortunate. Who, like he just stumbled. Avs have done a terrible job of protecting the high slot tonight, but again, I don't care about that. I mentioned it on the Kelly goal. Like in the playoffs, that dude standing in the high slot gets a sword run through him. Tonight, the Avs are like, I'm not going to hit anybody, and I'll just use my stick, and maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of offense here from the Avs, unfortunately, but to be expected, giving you're sitting your two best offensive players. Yeah, it's given the Avs lineup, I actually don't think they played that poorly in this game. There's just clearly no physicality from the Avs at all tonight, and that's fine. Just don't get hurt. We're good. Yeah, that overtime by the Wild was something else, man. Lucky's scoring the playoff opener. Book it. It's happening. Have not loved Marty's game today, and I know he's probably fucking going 50% or whatever, but we got goals from Nelson and Val, and Marty has not done much. And like I know Marty got the secondary assist on the Nelson goal, but that's a nothing play. Like that is assist is all Charlie Coyle. Marty didn't do anything on that. Yeah, he was wearing the A the other day too. Since McKinnon isn't playing, I gave it to Nelson because he's the 1C technically right now. All right. What if we all agree to just let Keaton Middleton score an own goal, but count it as a real goal? Worth it? Yeah, one of Malinsky or Johnson is the 7th D. It's probably EJ if you're asking me, but we'll see how healthy Manson is. If Manson isn't all the way there, EJ might just stay in for Manson. The forward side, it's probably got to be Kelly or Kivy. One of the two has to sit, assuming the Avs are fully healthy at forward, including Landy. Like Bednar pretty much said it after their last game, where he was like, "I'm calling all injuries day to day now because we're almost to the playoffs." So who knows how healthy or unhealthy anyone actually is? And I assume most of them are healthy, but Manson's the one that I'm not sure about. All right, no more stoppages. Let's go. Let's get this second period over with. Hey, he said yeah at least once in that review.
This game's making me sleepy.
Yeah, it was interesting for a minute there, but since the Kings got the lead back, boy, it slowed down real quick.
Oh, I would be out. Even before I started smoking weed, like I've always had such a hard time like staying awake. If I am tired, my body will my body will just shut down and just be like, "Nope, sorry, you're going to take a nap in the middle of class. You're going to take a nap in the middle of producing. Are you tired because you're tired?"
I I don't have that problem really, as it is now 4-2. Is that a bad rebound for Blackwood, or did he just get hung out to dry? I think he just got hung out to dry, but let's see the replay. Uh,
Little column A, little column B.
yeah, I mean, Middleton gets owned. It's not an awesome rebound. You never want to kick a rebound out to the slot, but Middleton's got to win that battle. All right, well, this game has gone back to the boring tank, unfortunately. It was interesting for like 7 minutes there. Yeah, I mean, I just go look at the shot heat map on Natural Stat Trick. It's like a gigantic red blob completely covering the slot. I don't know that you can realistically ask Blackwood to save them on this one. They're just giving up a grade A after grade A in the slot. High dangers are 3-8 in the Kings' favor at 5-on-5. When you include the power plays, it's 3-12 in the Kings' favor. So the Avs are kind of just getting cooked because their lineup is bad. Which, like, also, makes sense in a game that matters. Even if Keaton Middleton's in your lineup, you're not matching him up for shifts against Anze Kopitar. Just saying. But with tonight's lineup, Keaton Middleton is a top 4 defenseman for you. So it is what it is, man. stupids. He also clearly does not care about the score. He's rolling the lines. All 6 defensemen have played at least 10 minutes. Alrighty. 90 more seconds of this period. Yeah, the Theodore thing was... The Avs were still in an era where they were trying to chase the dragon that was Patrick Waugh in goal at the time. It didn't work out. The Rockies are 3-10. So they've played 13 games. They might be playing right now, though. No, they played tonight. And their bullpen's on pace to give up like 100 million runs, so that's cool. I don't think he won the Hart, did he? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did. No, you're right. Price did win the Hart in 2015, which was, much more recent than Theodore.
So I go, and then I hear equipment guy Peter Miller screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
And I look around.
I see how it is.
I kid you not, I did not do that. I was on a different screen typing away. There is literally no way that should have just played randomly just now.
Thought Tiff was like, this period is over. Goodbye. The period is over, though. For real, though. So, yeah, I'm going to go, take an intermission nap or something. I don't know. We'll be back 10, 15 minutes. We'll see you in a little bit.
So I go, and then I hear equipment guy Peter Miller screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look around, and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody. This is for Yannick Perreault. Welcome to Story with Biggie. Here's my first story of the year. We're going to have some stories like this about some funny moments throughout my career. I don't know why I'm thinking about this particular one today, but I'll tell you one thing. It's my rookie year in LA. We are playing at the old Winnipeg Arena that had the big Queen Elizabeth painting. That was awesome. I love that building. It was so fun to play in there with the passionate fans of Winnipeg. And I'm a rink rat, and I used to always get there so early. Believe it or not, in LA, I actually had the locker room key. Back then was an old lock, and you had to have the key to get in there on the visiting rooms of every building in the NHL. And then we're in Winnipeg on a cold January night, whatever it was. I'm in there, and I walk in there. There's always like things that you see that you know are normal to do. Example, like signings. If it's a practice day, usually there's always stuff to get signed for little brothers or cousins or neighbors, and guys bring it in the room, and it's usually laid out like this, like it's a jersey or whatever it is, or a hat, and there's always a marker next to it. And anyway, so I'm there and I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm, whatever, starting to get ready and get organized, and guys are starting to trickle in, and I see this, the beautiful LA Kings jersey, right there laying on the table, right in the middle of the room, next to the gum and the tape, and then all the extra stuff that, don't forget the bullets, Anyway, so I see this jersey, and I'm a nice guy, so I go there and I grab the marker and I see this jersey, and I think it's weird because it's a game day. Usually on game days you don't have things like that, but I don't think about it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll just sign it. So I signed the front of the jersey with a metallic Sharpie on a nice black LA Kings. Back then, black was road jerseys. So I write my name, and then guys are starting to come in, and next thing you know, there's about, 12, 13, 14 signatures on the jersey, and I go about my other part of my routine before the game, because remember, we're not superstitious. It's just part of the routine. Anyway, so I go, and then I hear this equipment guy, Peter Miller, screaming, was not very happy, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look around, and he's holding the jersey like this, and he's like, who's the moron that signed this jersey? And then I raise my hand, I look at Peter, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, who's this for? And he's like, it's not for anybody. This is for Yannick Perreault. He was a call-up that day, and they had gotten that jersey done right there in Winnipeg for him to wear that night. It's his jersey for tonight. So, God, I felt so bad. It's like 6 o'clock at night. The game is warm-ups in like 20 minutes. He's got about 15 signatures everywhere on his jersey on metallic pen. Oh my God! I tell you one thing, I wanted to die. And everybody said, "Who's the one? Who's the first one?" And I couldn't hide. I'm always the first one in the dressing room, so they all knew it was me. So I'm like, "It is me." All you saw was a jersey with black spray paint all over, like the 13, 14 signatures. And I tell you, it was so funny. Everybody was dying, and you could see at face-offs, guys from Winnipeg are looking at it like, where'd they find that jersey? You know what I mean? It was the funniest thing. Peter Miller, I apologize. Saw him at the rookie face-off the other day. We were still talking about that crazy pregame in Winnipeg, where it was my fault that we signed an actual game jersey for that night of Yannick Perreault. That was a call-up that night. That was a story with Big E.
We back.
Wahoo! I'm awake. I'm a conscious human being. Definitely.
Did you use some smelling salts?
No, Amot did them all. He took all of them.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, who's having a good possession? I mean, probably no one. Who's having a reasonable possession game? The Avs' best possession player is Keaton Middleton so far. So, I think that sums it up. Yep. I'm going to leave it at that. Alrighty. Yeah, there is nothing to take from this game, to be honest. Couple of cool goals for the Avs. Neat. Your defense that is missing its entire top pairing and another guy. And you're icing at least a handful of AHL dudes on your forward side, too. So, yeah. Never mind the fact that you're also coasting through the rest of the end of the season. But when Landy scores tonight in the AHL game, that'll be sick. No, this is not an illegal bootleg. Good luck finding one, though.
Good luck finding one on YouTube.
What did that arena used to be called before it was crypto.com? I forget. Was it Staples Center? Is that Staples Center or is the other one Staples Center? Yeah, it was Staples Center. Okay. Okay. 20 more minutes of no one getting hurt, please. Yeah. How much is left? That's like actual meaningful hockey. Because the Rangers are done. I mean, I guess the Montreal game is sort of meaningful. If they win it, they clinch. We're going to clinch anyway, though. I guess the West wild card has some sort of meaningful games left too. But if Minnesota and St. Louis both win tonight, then it's real tough for Calgary. Calgary does get to play San Jose tomorrow, though, so that should be a win.
Don't do that.
I can't help it. It's a sleepy game for sleepy people. All right. No more whistles. Even if you score a goal, just keep the clock running. Ooh, that didn't feel good, Parker. Messy, messy, messy. All right. If you made the Avs players have to do a foot race off the ice, but with their skates on, who would be the fastest? Who would be the fastest skate runner? Would it still just be the normal dudes like McKinnon? Or would someone have this specific skill? Maybe you'd pick someone like Middleton because he's big and has really long legs. Gerard, maybe. I don't know. Is he like, he's got that balance? An Avalanche St. Pat's Day jersey randomly in LA. The more you know. Ooh. If you're not going to finish that one, Inola, you may never score in the NHL. Lady's return was awesome, man. I was glad to see him back and playing. He looked fine. Like, obviously the AHL is not NHL speed or anything crazy, but at that pace, seemed fine to me. He was willing to get involved physically. He had some nice penalty kill shifts, actually. Looked good. And he's playing tonight again, so he must feel pretty decent. Certainly far more interesting than this Avs game. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, I mean, I think the Anaheim game might be interesting at least because Anaheim doesn't care and has nothing to play for either. So more of an even playing field at least. Avs pushing here, but there is just no finish out there right now for Colorado. I was right about 15 minutes for Gabe the other night. Yeah, Nate just not having a great game. There's a little bit of effort. I wouldn't say it's full on effort, but you know, your depth guys are certainly efforting. Whew. Yeah, that might be the right choice for Jersey tomorrow. Look at Wedgie cracking jokes on the bench, trying to keep the team awake in this boring game. Is this ASMR typing for you guys? Well, go to the penalty box, Mr. Ashan. You're on the score sheet at least. Not in the way you want to be, but you're on the score sheet. Yeah, that was definitely a hold, my guy. I don't know why you're mad about it. I know he's clamping your stick, but you just kind of yoinked him down. I don't have a keyboard recommendation unless you want to spend way too much money. This is my second keyboard actually, which is just a cheapo HyperX mechanical. My main keyboard is a Ducky Shine 7, which is, I love it, don't get me wrong, but just very expensive. A Sean is quite small, yeah. I recommend getting Cherry MX Brown switches, or possibly Reds if you can find them for a decent price. But just don't get the clicky switches. That's the key. It's interesting that Altitude has that graphic. Not that it matters, like it's gonna be against Dallas, but technically Winnipeg hasn't clinched yet. Yep, we're rooting for BU since E's kid plays there too. Hopefully they win and give us some interesting hockey. I mean, I think they should be fine in the playoff pace, really. Like, during the peak of the season, Blackwood was playing every other day just fine. Don't think it's that big of a deal. Obviously, if the Avs, like, go deep and are going 7 every round, then we'll see, but it's not a concern at the forefront. Oh, the ref just took a shot to the nuts or the face or both by the looks of it. Back of the knee. He's fine. He's fine. Okay, let's hurry up now. I don't care where this face-off happens. Just drop the puck, man. There's 12 and a half minutes left in this game that no one cares about. Ugh. Okay. I mean, get through these 40 seconds, your PK goes 1 for 4 or 3 for 4. That's not terrible. It's not like amazing or anything, but you know, something. Can I take a puck to the knee so I don't have to do this post game show? Actually, I think our post game show will be pretty fun because we just won't talk about this game for most of it. Talk about other stuff. You hit the post. You suck. Ooh. Bonk. Crossbar. Okay. Okay. Hey, how did that go in? What was Kemper doing? I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it, Mr. Malinsky. Oh, all right. I'm awake. I'm ready. The coma is over. The comeback is on. It's time for someone weird to score a goal. Oh boy. Hold on. The two rookie defensemen are getting a shift together. Hang on to your butts. I mean, obviously a long way to go, but if LA ends up losing this game and that ends up mattering for their home ice seating, that would be hilariously bad for them. Multi-point night for Val. That is good to see. A guy you've been wanting to get going a little bit. I can't do it. I can't do another shootout. Don't do it to me. Fall asleep live on stream. Damn. Landy got to the rink early. I guess it's a long drive for him, probably, given that he lives not up north. All right, look, though. If the Avs do win this game, then the Anaheim game would be for 50 wins on the season. We do not know when game 1 will be, but it will almost certainly be the 19th or the 20th. It's possible it could be like the 21st, but it's almost certainly not going to be that. Given that the Avs have 5 days off at the end of the season, I'm expecting it to be the 19th, but we don't know for sure. Kemper looked pretty squirrely there, man. Woo. I mean, I doubt game 2 will be on the 23rd. Game 3 could be on the 23rd. Oh, okay. Cool. Game over. I mean, this has to be some of the worst high danger defense I've seen the Avs play in a while. Like, all 5 LA goals have come from the slot or the high slot. Malinsky just... it's not really. I take it back. That's not Malinsky's fault. That's Natchis's guy. Natchez literally the reaching position, butt out, does not care. I mean, it's two things really, right? It's partially a product of having a garbled defense with a bunch of random dudes on it. Obviously, Gerard and Malinsky are not random dudes. They've played together, but it's a product of it's the last two games of the season and no one on the Avs is being physical at all. And to defend the slot effectively, it's almost entirely physicality away from the puck, right? You got to be strong to win the positional battles, and then you've got to oftentimes win the physical battle too. And the Avs are very, very clearly just not engaged physically at all tonight. So, yeah, I mean, Natchez is just asleep. It's his guy in the slot all the way, and he was flat-footed and reached and didn't care. And it's the second time he's done that tonight too. Again, I don't really care because this game is meaningless, and the Avs are playing like it's meaningless in the defensive zone. So whatever. But that was offside for sure. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, baby. All right, look. Blackwood, you got to take one for the team tomorrow, buddy. You got to fake an injury. We can call up and play Mandalise. We can get to 50. All right, man. That's what we need to do. I mean, I'm not blaming Blackwood for much in this one. Could he play better? Sure. There's maybe a rebound or two he'd like back, but the defense in front of him is not NHL caliber tonight. There's nothing wrong with Wedgie. I just want the Avs to get the 50 players played in the season. Telling you, first goal of the playoffs. Lecky scoring it. Alinsky creates another rebound there. And he pinches in. And he misses on the backhand side. Could have been a multi-goal night for you, Sam. That'd have been fun. That'd have been something. Damn, Parker really trying to score while lying on his chest. Yeah, Marty's super duper skilled. He's fun to watch, but in a game like this, it's whatever because he's just clearly not engaged. So he obviously can't play like that in the playoffs, but he knows that he's not like some rookie. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Bednar's post game today is shorter than the one the other night or not. It might be close. I don't know this. I guess I can look up and see how many. Just anecdotally, it feels like the Avs have not blocked many shots at all tonight. The actual numbers say that they've blocked 20, which I don't believe, but maybe. Hey, we scored another goal. Okay. More Madeline tweets.
Lucky for me, I think unscathed works for a win or a loss, so I think I'm okay.
As long as nobody gets hurt in the last 90 seconds.
I know. I was being risky putting that up so quickly, but you know, we don't believe in jinxes, so.
I certainly don't. It's going wide. Dude, how does... Okay, that one's icing. I was going to say, how does LA keep getting away with this? Just barely not being icing, or the Avs touch it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I just don't think the Avs care either way about this game. But I don't think you feel great about this game if you're LA, knowing you have to go play Edmonton, and the Colorado Eagle Lanch just took you to the last minute of the game. Although, apparently, Ekholm did get hurt today. Ugh. Dude, that is that worst case scenario for me. Nelson gets a hat trick and ties it, so they go to the shootout, and I have to pour water on my head in my review. That might be worst case. Bloop. How did this happen? Okay, well, you stole it right back, I guess. Somehow you still have a chance to tie this game. You really shouldn't. Surely not in the last 10.
So I go, and then I hear equipment guy Peter Miller
Tiff.
scream.
I don't know how that keeps happening.
Okay, game ended. I mean, it's probably closer than it deserved to be, so maybe the Avs deserve some credit. I don't know. We'll talk about it in the post game, as well as probably stuff other than this game. But anyway, we appreciate y'all. We'll see you in like 15 minutes or so before the post game.
We all silly like the mayor.